Hello everyone, it's Jay here from the Trading Court Podcast, a Pokemon TCG podcast bringing you anything and everything Pokemon TCG related. If you are looking for Pokemon TCG competitive decks ready to go, including GLC decks, please head over to Pokédex4U.com. Pokédex4U has a variety of decks ready for sale, with each deck being fully customizable and bespoke to your needs. Use the code TrainingCourtTCG for 5% off your first order. Now let's get on to the episode. Hello and welcome to the Training Court Podcast, the Pokemon TCG podcast about anything and everything Pokemon TCG related. Jay here, and I'm joined by my fellow co-hosts Andy, Kath, Al, again for another week of talking Pokemon. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hello.
So this time we've actually got a positive update. When I ask, what have you been playing this week? I think I've actually got people that have actually played. So I'm going to go ladies first. Kath, what have you been playing this week?
So I played in a league challenge last night, played in real life for the first time since EUIC, I think.
3 months, that's mental.
Resurrected Clefairy,
Okay.
and did quite well. Two wins, 2 losses out of 4 matches.
Yeah.
Came 7th overall out of 16. So yeah, not too shabby, seeing as though I built the deck at, 3:30? On that
3 hours before kicking off, yeah. So, I mean,
Um,
obviously, you said you resurrected Clefairy. It's post-rotation Clefairy, now with
Yeah.
Paldea Evolved included. What kind of items did you have in there in place of... I mean, I heard you yesterday saying you miss Quick Ball a lot.
Yeah, definitely missed Quick Ball.
What's kind of gone into it? What are the staples that you've had to replace?
So now I've included Iono, obviously.
Yeah.
I think I said Iono about 50 million times last night because I was playing all 3 every game.
Yeah.
Miriam was helpful in a few instances to get back Weird.
Yeah.
Super Rod to put back either Clefairies or, well, any Pokemon or energy, depending on what I needed. And Jet Energy, which caught a few people out when I'd benched the Weird Jet Energy and then moved my 10 other energies onto it as well and just be like, yeah, that's 400 damage.
Yeah, Weird is quite good. I know Al has touched on it in Guardy. But I don't think it's very good in Guardy because most of the times you're loading up potentially your Guardies, especially Shining Arcana ones, and then they're probably going to get knocked out next turn realistically. But I think I've seen a Lugia list with a Weird because it just moves all the energies. It just seems really, really good and potent. And I think for Clefairies, it sounds even better. So
I would have liked to have space for reversal energy, because then Clefairy attacks for 1 attachment. So if you've already been moon watching, partying,
it has to be evolution. Reversal has to be evolution Pokemon.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Without a rule box. Yeah.
Without a rule box, yeah. So it's not got a rule box, but it has to be evolution.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately. Sorry to quash your dream.
No, that's fine. I mean, I don't need it. It's just being greedy.
So I think that potentially could be an RTFC.
with my 18 other energy, I think I'm probably being a little bit greedy, trying to.
Well, I think it's okay to have an RTFC from a new set. We do RTFCs from like base set. Like we should know like training. So yeah.
To be fair, one thing I did have to just double check. So I put Bruno in.
Yeah.
Because if I get knocked out, I shuffle draw 7. And Bruno was the last card in my hand. So I did just double check with the judge that I could actually play it. But because it doesn't say shuffle your hand into your deck if you do draw cards. It doesn't say that. It just says shuffle and then draw. So if you're nothing to shuffle, then it's fine.
So obviously EUIC you played Mew. You were championing Fusion Mew, probably ahead of its time. I say ahead of its time. I know its time was like 2 years ago. Time was 2 years ago, but obviously it's come back round again. Can you see yourself maining Clefairies, or do you reckon Fusion Mew's your still main deck?
I think it probably depends on the day. If I had a lot of fun, even my losses last night, I was having fun, and it caught a lot of people out.
Yeah.
Whereas if you play something like Mew, everyone's seen it played a million times. They know what you're going to do. They know what you're pulling out with a Chromomatic. You can't kind of catch anyone off guard.
You say that. I played against a Mew, and they're playing. I think it's an Ice Cube. I think it's an Ice Cube that does 60 to the bench for every Fusion Strike energy, and that caught me up.
I saw a Mew VMAX being paired with Lugia today on Twitter.
That's just weird.
And it won a tournament. I think it was a seniors tournament, but I think he steamrolled everything.
For Alex's reference, the Ice Cube's kind of been added in recently. I'd say since some of the last couple of regionals. Again, it just helps the matchup with Lost Box. Realistically, it helps the Guardi, So it really helps, So cool. Okay, well, moving on, we had another returning player to the in real life format. Andy, I know you played as well. Where did you play? How did you play? And what did you play?
Yeah, so I played Saturday at Geek Retreat, just the casual league. I played Chen Pao, first time piloting it like in real life. The only times, I've only really played it on the ladder. And I played absolutely rubbish. The first match I was on the bye. Second, I came up against Darkrai and got battered. And then second game was Zoroark V-Star. And that one was a bit closer, but the first game he just took it because he'd set up so quick, and it kind of took me back a bit, and then because I was on the back foot constantly then because he just kept knocking out once he was set up, that was it. He was knocking out my Chen Pao fairly easy, and I had some really rubbish hands. It's mainly because I was rusty, but the hands I was getting, like one game I didn't get a Excalibur out for like 4 turns. And that
because if you draw, like what's the
just the way the cards were coming out. And even after I owned, I'd filled my hand back up to 6. He had 4, and I'd still I just couldn't use the hand for what I wanted to do.
So it's obviously, the good thing about the casual league and obviously and getting back into playing real life is you're able to test the deck, see where the deficiencies are, and kind of make some changes. I also think, given that by the time of the release of this episode, NAIC will have started. So it starts again, today. So I do think we'll see some Chen Pao. And I think Chen Pao is probably in that weird state, very similar to how Miraidon was, and potentially even Guardi was before EUIC, where people are playing it, but no one knows you usually need a good
60.
It's not even best 60. It's usually probably about 50, 55, 56, something like that. You've got the 56, and then the rest of them are, you make some changes, put some different cards in here and there. But for example, a Guardi's got 4th Curlier, 4 routes, 2 split of the Guardis. You've got the Cresselia, then you also, like I said, Miraidon is pretty much settled now into Miraidon box. So the Dynamotor Flappies are there, the Raikos are there. They're
not playing regular QV Max, are they?
No, exactly. Which was what everyone was going mental for before UIC. But again, it's settled into that. It's actually Raichu and Raikou set with Dynamotor Flappy. So with you kind of, and then it's just like an odd card here or there. Are you kind of settled into yours, or do you reckon there is some changes that you can make?
Yeah, there's definitely changes I will be making. I want to try out the turbo-esque version.
Oh, is that Azul's list?
Yeah, with the Mew and just straight up 4/4 back Excalibur line. Yeah, I might try that out. Another thing I wanted to because I was drawing pretty bad, I was thinking, because I play Palkia, just stick a Melanie in, or a couple of Melanies, just to kind of get out of those really rubbish hands where you've not got a support. Like there's a couple of times I didn't have a supporter in hand, but obviously if I had like a Melanie or something, I'm attaching to Palkia, and I'm drawing cards. So
well, Melanie in Chen Pao is basically extra 60 damage, really. If you're using Chen Pao.
Yeah.
But you got to use a V. There are some lists that don't use a V's.
It's got to be accelerated to a V. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some lists like Azul's list doesn't run V.
Can't you? Doesn't.
But Melanie can only attach. Melanie can only attach to V's.
Yeah. Well, Luminion. I played
Luminion. Yeah, true. Yeah.
There's enough there to.
But you can attach to the V's, but then still attack with Chen Pao for an extra damage.
That's what I mean. Yeah. But then I'm still drawing an extra 3 cards off the Melanie.
Exactly. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how it evolves, and I'm really interested to see how, because it did get some good placements. It's been getting some decent placements on a lot of the online tournaments in the lead up to NAIC. I am actually really excited to see where Chen Pao comes and how it fits into the meta, because I love a good water deck. I've got all the bling for the water deck in real life decks, so I just I'm hoping it's good. Okay, Al, have you played much this week?
I have been hitting the ladder on TCG Live, which is just a horrible experience. I've also been playing a lot of Tabletop Simulator on Limitless. It sounds really sad, but you just basically play against yourself, and it's basically like playing in real life, except the shuffling. The shuffle does it for you. But you have to sequence properly. You have to make sure you're remembering that you've attached or you've used a supporter, and it's a really good way of being able to practice a particular matchup. Because I've been playing Gardevoir since I could, and I went over to the Mewtwo Union, as I said in the previous podcast, but I've come back to the straight Gardevoir because it's just so much easier. Mewtwo Union is just really hard to pilot, and the list that I've kind of settled on well, I'm doing well on the ladder, but I've not played in real life. I've actually found a Pokemon League near. I've bought a house and moving to a new house, and there's a Pokemon League that's just literally like a 10-minute walk from my house. Nice. So I'll be going there. They play on Friday night, so I'll be testing in real life from now on, from next week. And but yeah, so the Gardevoir that I've been playing, I've been going back and forth with an extra card. So I've got a space for one card. 61
cards.
I've got I've got 61.
That's illegal.
Cheater.
I've got 60 cards, but I've got 59, and I've just put in an extra power pad. I'm playing one boss, which maybe I should play 2 bosses, but I put an extra power pad because sometimes I have to discard it. Sometimes that's the way the hand goes, and sometimes you have to discard it with a Curlier. But also it helps because if you put an extra boss in, you've got an extra boss, and that's more consistent for the boss. But then with an extra power pad, you've got an extra one of supporter for anything. Yeah. I can get an extra worker for it works in very many different circumstances. Boss can help with in all circumstances. But I kind of find that I was making do with one boss and one power pad anyway. I might boss. I save my power pad to the end. Then I use my power pad. I've only got 3 cards in my deck, and then I just Shining Corner or Refinement, get the boss back in and use it. So yeah, I've got 1 card, and I tried putting in Choice Belt, and I didn't come up against many matchups that I needed it. But yeah, I've just been playing. And I watched Tricky Jim's video on Gardevoir versus Lugia. He was using Spiritomb, and that seemed to be quite good against Lugia, because the opponent wanted to keep using Lumineon, because I think Lugia really relies on Lumineon to set up, especially in the opening hand. If you don't draw your Lugias or your Archeopses, you want your Lumineon to at least Professor Burnett or research or whatever. And then in the late game, they wanted Lumineon for boss. So if you have your Spiritomb there, it's kind of sat there and it's just stopping them from being more consistent. And Lugia is not consistent at the moment. Obviously, it also helps with Mew, and it kind of forces your opponent to boss up the Spiritomb, to knock it out so they can play, which is fine for the player playing the Spiritomb, because taking out Spiritomb doesn't really affect your game, like your setup. So you happily lose a Spiritomb, you can probably just super rod it and then Artisan or level ball it back. They're not taking out a mana fee if they're playing Radiant Greninja. So yeah, I might try Spiritomb, but I can't because it's banned on TCG Live alongside Tingler and other Pokemon. But yeah, I'm
really surprised they haven't sorted that out yet.
Well, there's a maintenance. It's down for maintenance tomorrow, so maybe they'll. God, Gardevoir is so bugged. There's another bug where if you have a reversal energy and you put a basic energy and try and retreat, you can't. It's like times out. So say if I have a reversal, this is what happens. I have a reversal. I put 2 basic energy on. I want to retreat the 2 basic energy, so I keep the reversal, and then I want to use like what's it called, Cresselia, but I can't because now it blocks it, and then it does it automatically, and then discards the reversal and the basic. It's just so buggy. But yeah, enough about live anyway. What have you been playing, Jay?
Yeah. Okay. So I've played quite a bit actually. Since last recording, I've played in 2 league challenges, and I played a casual league. So the first of the lot was the casual league with Andy on Saturday. I again played Chen Pao, but I played a completely different list to Andy. I was running Arceus V-Star purely for Star Birth, and it saved me a couple of times. Just being able to have the ability to just Star Birth and get any 2 cards you want, it just can save you in a pinch. And I think we played 3 games. I won 2 and drew 1, so overall it wasn't too bad. Yeah, it's a fun deck. I think considering the rest of the time I've spent my time playing Guardy or Lugia, Chen Pao just feels fun, if that makes sense. Sometimes you kind of, I know obviously it's Pokemon trading card game, want to improve, want to win. Sometimes think we forget that just want to have some fun as well. And sometimes Guardy isn't fun. Sometimes it's like a puzzle. You gotta get the last pile of parts together to take the win. So did that on Saturday, played that, really enjoyed it. Want to go back and play Chen Pao again, so I'm waiting for the NAIC list and debating whether to make it my main deck. And then I played a back-to-back league challenge. I played a league challenge on a Monday night and I played a league challenge on a Tuesday night. Monday night was a bit busier. Fanboy 3, there was 26 people. I came 11th out of 26. So I won 2, drew 1, lost 1. 1-2, drew 1, lost 2, played 5 overall. The draw was against the guy that won it all. So after I played him the first game, after he drawed against me, he went and went on to win every single match to take the win. I played some odd decks as well. So I mean, the first game was a lost box, and that was the draw. To be 100% honest, I wasn't used to playing with reversal energy, and it was post road, obviously it's post Paldea evolved Guardy. It's my first time playing it in a tournament as well, so I made some stupid mistakes, but I was still able to get the tie. I also included Champions Festival. One of the judges is a friend of ours, and he lent me a copy of Champions Festival because I wanted to try to see what it was like. I really enjoyed it, and I had actually ordered myself a copy. which didn't come in time for Tuesday's tournament. It came today, annoyingly, the morning after. But I still obviously will keep playing Guardy, so it's there. But yeah, I enjoyed it. The two losses were against Guardy Mirror. Against Matty Byram. Unfortunately, I always lose against Matty. I mean, he's a fantastic player. He's a fantastic player, and I always seem to play him. And he did say it's not a tournament unless we play each other. But I've not been able to beat him yet. And if he is listening, which I think he said he will be, I am going to beat you one day, Matty. I'm just not sure when. It could be a couple of years, or maybe when you're sick of playing Pokemon after Worlds, and I'm like, and you play like a road deck. But yeah, he was a Guardian Mirror. Again, our lists were pretty different. He was playing Champions Festival. He played Reversal Energy, etc. I think the difference for him was he played Clara. He played one Super Rod, one Clara. I played two Super Rods. So the Clara was quite handy. And he also did play Choice Belt. I know Alex, you said Choice Belt didn't help. And I've not really found, when I'm playing, I've not really found where it would benefit me. But it definitely benefited him because I had to... he was able to hit the 220 and the Zacian for the win. The last two prizes, he was able to boss up with Gardevoir EX and add Choice Belt, hit the 190 and the Choice Belt 220, get the knockout and got the win. So, and then the other loss was against was it Unified Wings or United Wings?
Oh yeah, United.
I just had a bad time against that deck.
It's really annoying losing because I'm like, we shouldn't lose against this deck. The deck's not good. Like, it's not a meta deck. So why do you lose? But it's a meme deck. It's a road
Mad
deck.
Party was the same in Malamar. Yeah, they can
Mad
hit.
Party, Night March, all them kind of decks. Some people have done really well with them.
Well, that's it. If you can get a really good start, which my opponent did, I think they had after their turn 2, they had 6 birds in the bin.
Yeah.
So each one hitting for 20. So he was hitting for 120 and just basically bossing up. But I think they were running 2 or 3 bosses, kept bossing up Curliers or Ralts and just stopping me. And the only card that I really wanted to really in this fight would have been Cresselia to start moving damage around and start taking the knockouts and their Pokemon. Unfortunately, I prized it and I don't play heavy ball, which is again another consideration I'm considering. But overall, yeah, had a really, really good night. 11 out of 26 it's not the best, it's not the worst, but it was a lot better than my performance at Geek Retreat, which is annoying because I had to fight for. I was actually, I think my last. This is how close it was. I think for a lot of people in my last match, if I had won, I would have been 3rd. But because I didn't win, I went down to 9th. So it just showed how close the margins were really between everyone. Yeah, I think I lost. I won 2, lost 2. The 2 losses were, the first one was tough to take. I'm not sure if Riley listens to this podcast, but if he does, I always play him and I always tie or lose to him. I just don't know why. It's annoying. Even he admits it as well. It's a player that I've played for years now. Well, it feels like years, and I just could never get the one over on him. And then he was my first opponent. And he was playing Regidrago, mixed with Fortress.
He's playing that on Saturday, I think.
He was playing that on Saturday. I was able to get a tie with him on Saturday, because of how powerful Chien-Pao was. But my Gardevoir deck just struggled. I played 3 stadiums and Worker, but he was running Fortress. So firstly, Fortress does the thing where it explodes, it kills itself, doesn't it? It kills itself, self-destruction. So I get 2 prize cards, and then he's able to put 5 energy on the board. So he's able to basically put all his grass energy onto his Regidragos, so he's ready to go. And then that doesn't end his turn, which is annoying. Because then straight away he Ionos me, and my hand, which is quite big, goes quite small because I've only got 4. And then also Regidrago's ability is a V-Star power where you're able to basically discard the top 6 cards of your hand of your deck, and then take any 2 cards from your discard. He just kept getting path. He put 2 paths back and just pathed me. And then when he was attacking with Regidrago, he was using Neuven EX's attack. which basically does 120 damage. So he was knocking out Cresselia, he was knocking out Ralts, he was knocking out Curliers, and he was two-shotting other Pokemon. But the problem is the condition of that attack is I can't attach, your opponent cannot attach Special Energy or play Stadiums for next turn.
From your hand.
From my hand. And he had Path. So the only thing I could do was really dig for Worker to get rid. But then he just kept pathing me, and then pathing and Ionoing me. It was rough. He won the first game convincingly. Second game, it went to overtime and it went to turns, and I just needed boss. I was ready. I was able to get rid of his. I was ready to get rid of his stadium. I was able to bump his stadium. I was able to power up all my. I literally in one turn I was like, I'm powering everyone up because I know he's going to path me next turn. I took the knockout, and then he put Spiritomb up, and then just stood there. And I was turn 3, and I literally did concealed cards. I did two. Shining Arcanas. I did a refinement, and then I was like, I just couldn't get a boss. All I needed was a boss for the tie, but fortunately not. And then my second loss was against Lost Box Giratina. Again, Iono Path, and I had prized my Worker, and I had prized a Stadium. So when you get pathed, it was again went to time and just ran out of time to take the tie. So overall, it was really good. I'm enjoying Guardy, but I'm looking forward to playing something a bit just relaxed, like a bit more relaxing. No more. I think that's the last tournaments. I think we're going to a league. Well, I think Andy Half can't, and Alex obviously in Italy, but I think there's a League Cup, isn't there, in August? So I think you're on holiday.
We'll be coming back that day. We'll probably be on the plane when that happens.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna try for that. The owner of Geek Retreat showed us the playmats that he's got with Champion. It's a Gardevoir. It's a Gyarados EX terrestrialized Pokemon playmat with Champion written in the corner.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring hopefully my A game to that. I might just try and look at one of Sanders' decks, just control everyone and make them quit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
just hope that Chris and Sean can't make it as well.
Well, I beat Sean again. Last 2 times I've played Sean. I beat him in the mirror, and I beat him. He was running Meowscarada last night, and because I know how that deck works, because I built it myself, and I know how limited resources are with double turbo energies, I just kept bossing up his Radiant Alakazam, so he had to spend his double turbo energies to retreat.
I've played Sean those, but I think I've only ever played Chris, like, apart from testing, like, I've only ever played him like twice.
I've played him about 3 or 4 times. He won last night. He was the only person to go 4-0.
All right, nice.
He was playing Lost Box Gira as well. Again, he just made that deck with I think and a couple hours before. I think he was saying, because he was running Arctina beforehand. So, but yeah, it's good to be back playing. And I've had my mail day, my Pokemon mail day, and I've got a couple of cards ready to go in some decks. I'm not going to say which deck I'm going to play this weekend. So, but it's not Guardy. It's not Guardy. It's probably not Gem Power either. But yeah, cool. Well, let's move on then. So, in terms of news, we usually obviously cover any results, any tournaments. We did actually have a special event which we didn't mention in our last week's episode, but the special event was held in Puerto Rico on the 24th of June. 127 players. The winner was again a person, a trainer that we know quite well, does well in a lot of regionals and in America. It was John Inc. So John won the special event, and then second came was Aiden Koos, who again he won a regional this season as well. So some big hitters there. The top 5 were all lost box. They were just all lost box. I think the only differentiation was the third place was a Sablezard build. I think the rest of them were all Kyogre builds. Finishing out the top 8, you had Anthony Bruno with Arc, Tina, and Umbreon. Gabriel Perez in 7th place running Guardy, and then James Hart in 8th place running Guardy. So Guardy's getting those top 8 finishes, but it's just not getting, he's not getting over the line. Although I know Henry Brand did well recently, but yeah, it's just not getting over that line. But yeah, I mean, realistically, what we are waiting for is NAIC. So as I mentioned beforehand, by the time this episode comes out, NAIC will be in full flow. It's rumored to be the largest international to date. Given that EUIC was pretty big, I think this one's going to trounce it for size wise. It's going to be huge.
They're just keen to get bigger.
Well, EUIC was the biggest international to date.
Yeah, I think NAIC is going to absolutely smash it.
Oh yeah,
absolutely smash it. So we don't know anyone actually competing. I don't think we know anyone competing. But we know
the Europe ones that we know.
Yeah, but we know obviously. So Niall, a good friend of the show, he's out there. He got called in last minute, I think, to judge. So he's out there judging. And then Shay is out there as well commentating. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, it's look. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm actually really excited for it, just because I want to see what does well. And I'm looking forward to not just seeing
it's the first tournament
versus Mew. I'm looking for hopefully some new decks and some interesting matchups.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to say, it's probably just going to be God of War, Mew, and Lost Box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? So I went to the league challenge on Monday, and I was like, everyone's gonna be running Chen Pao. It's a new deck. It's new. There was like 11 Gardevoirs there. There was one Chen Pao.
Yeah.
and then
win.
and then last night there was only one Chen Pao as well. So I was really surprised. I thought Chen Pao would be really a lot bigger. But I think we'll see. I think if it does well, same as Gardevoir. I think there wasn't, Gardevoir after EUIC, after Tord just exploded, didn't it? And it's never kind of come down since. I think if there's something that does really well, out there does really well with Chen Pao, I think it's going to explode again. Just make sure you have your cards ready.
I think it will. I think it will make its appearance in the top 8. I think like Miraidon always just seemed to used to pop up. I think that won't anymore. But I think Chen Pao will. I think Chen Pao is better than Miraidon, so I think it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can set up quick if you pull your pull your battle VIP card.
And disrupting it just doesn't care about being disrupted, because it just gets the energy and then and gets them back. So no matter how much you IO or judge or whatever, it doesn't really care about its hand.
Yeah.
Definitely. So what we thought we would do, Alex thought it'd be a good idea for us all to predict the top 8 decks that are going to make it into NAIC finals. So obviously it's going to be who's going to be, we're going to have list it from 1 to 8, who we think is going to be, not player wise, just deck wise. And given that it was Alex's idea, I think we're going to go with Alex first.
Yeah, so actually I have been thinking about it, and I knew you were going to come to me first because I still don't know who's going to win. I think I don't want Mew to win again, but I think I just have a feeling that Mew's going to win. I think people are going to bring Ice Cube, and I don't think people are going to be expecting it, or maybe some people are. I mean, it's the top players are going to be testing everything, aren't they?
It all depends how much the top players have been testing the new decks, and if they want to rely on playing new decks over something like Lost Box, which they've been drilling for months and months and months. Like sometimes for a big tournament like that, they might just play it safe. Not everyone's going like full on, like Tord playing Get a Cardi.
Yeah, plus live's been garbage, so you won't have been able to put in as much time.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Gardevoir is going to win. Because now it has.
Are we just going to give our winners now? We'll do number 1 spot each of us,
or top 4 maybe. I'm going to do top.
Yeah, 4. Let's do top 4.
Top 4. Because let's face it, there could be 4 Mews and 4 Gardevoirs in top 8. Yeah. So as a top 4, if I had to just choose one of each, I'd say Gardevoir would win, because it has an answer to every meta deck. It has an answer to Lost Box, so it's now not as super unfavorable against Lost Box. So I think it has a good chance of any deck to win. So I think Gardevoir is going to win. I think it's going to play against. Do you know what? I think it's going to be a mirror. I think it's going to be Gardevoir mirror in the final.
The final.
Yeah, so that guarantees Gardevoir win. Gardevoir second. But if we're not doing that and we're just placing decks, I'd say then Mew. I think Mew is going to be the next deck after Gardevoir. I don't even think Lost Box is going to. I don't even think Lost Box is going to make top 4.
I do.
You think? I think if I was to say what the decks are, I'd say Gardevoir, then 2 Gardevoir, and then a Mew, then Lost Box. That's what I would say.
Okay, so you're going Mew. So you're going Gardevoir. So first Gardevoir, second Gardevoir, third place Mew, fourth place Lost Box. Any Sablezard or Kyogre?
The Turbo Lost Box.
Okay,
which
so
is
the Kyogre, I think, isn't it?
Kyogre, yeah.
Okay, no problems.
Yeah.
Andy?
I'm going Mew, Lost Box, Turbo Lost Box, then Lost Box 3rd place, and Lugia 4th place.
Okay. Kath?
I think Mew will probably take it. Hopefully a Chempao.
I think a Chempao will be in the top 8. I think a Chempao will be in the top 8.
It'd just be nice to see something
that's
new.
Not Lost Box on Mew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arceus? An Arceus variant?
Then I don't know what else. Yeah, probably Lost Box, Gardevoir. That's kind of, they're just what's flowing around at the top. Like the cream of the crop in it.
It probably it might end up whoever wins is the one that brings a counter to what is the most popular. Like you know when what's his name, Alex Szymanski, he brought no one was he won with one deck that he will only be able to win that one tournament with, because it just was perfect for that tournament. So it might just be just some complete like a Xander control deck, or just a deck that no one would have thought of, just because they predicted the meta perfectly. And
Clefairy, right?
Clefairy.
So Kath, can you confirm your top 4 again?
Mew, Chempao, and then Gardevoir, and then Lost Box.
Okay. Mine, I am gonna go with a Lost Zone Tina for win. Yeah, I think it's been creeping up slowly. It's done really well over in Japan, and I think I think it's a good deck. Unfortunately, it has answers to everything. I'm surprised it's been garbage for so long. I think it does benefit now. Obviously going behind, etc. So I'm gonna go first place Lost Zone Tina, second place Lost Box, Turbo Lost Box, third place I'm gonna go Lugia, and fourth place I'm gonna go Mew.
Cool.
So I still think Lugia's pretty good.
Have you written all that down? Yeah.
Well, we've got it on the podcast, haven't we?
I've written that. Actually, what was yours again? Andy?
Mine was Lost Box, Mew, Lost Box, Lugia. But we just listened to the podcast and then.
we'll confirm again. Okay, and then back to Alex again, finishing out your top 8. What's 5 to 8?
So I think this is the more fun kind of area. Like I think we'll have a Chempao. So I think Chempao will be 7th. I don't think it will be 8th.
We'll just do it in order. What's your 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th?
What's your
5th? I think 5th will be Lugia. Then another Lost Box variant, maybe. No, I think actually an Arc variant. I think an Arceus. The Umbreon is not really going to make many waves, is he? Maybe Arceus. I think Arceus Duraludon is probably not the meta call. Maybe Arctina, yeah, maybe Arctina. Then Chen Pao, and how is that? And then we've got one more. Then I don't think Mewtwo V-Union will make top 8. I think let's go for good old Miraidon. Miraidon makes it again.
Okay, no problems. Andy, what's your 5th to 8th place?
So 5th, probably another Lost Box variant. Oh no, actually, let's go Gardevoir 5th place.
Oh yeah.
Miraidon 6th. Arctina 7th. And a Chempao 8.
Okay. Gaff, 5th to 8th.
I'd quite like to see someone play something like United Wings, or just like a meme that's out of control.
Yeah.
And that's just popping off every game and just makes it that far, because that's what I aspire to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully something like United Wings.
So you saying United Wings 5th?
5th place.
Well, I don't know about 5th place.
It's quite high, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite high.
I don't know. It's just going to be more of the same, isn't it? Another Mew, another Gardevoir, another Lockbox. It's not. I think by the time you get into the top 8, kind of everything else has been.
Everything's going to be the same. Yeah.
So you got one more then. So you've got Mew, Chempao, Guardi, Lost Box, United Wings, another Mew and a Guardi.
Yeah.
Who's running out that last spot?
Another Mew and another Guardi.
Just Mews and Guardi interchangeable.
Honestly, I think that they're going to become like the new Lugia. That's just
At least it's more than one deck. At least it's not just Lugia.
I don't know. Like, I like some of the most memorable matches that we've watched have been like when, I can't remember who it was, but when the guy was playing Jirachi and he was flicking heads, and we were actually sat there cheering at Pokemon cards. Like, what? Who does that? But
it has got a bit stale, hasn't it? It's got a little bit stale because you do. I mean, I remember coming around watching
very stale,
you, and it's like, oh look, it's Lost Box versus Lost Box, or it's Lost Box versus Lugia. It's like, oh, and I mean, occasionally they'll have like one additional card that you're like, oh, didn't realize that, but you don't know. You could watch the best of 3 and never see that card.
Yeah.
It's nothing like sitting there doing like a little drum roll on the table when you're like rolling the dice to flip heads or tails. It's quite.
That's why we play, isn't it? Really, for those moments.
Like, I would never usually play a coin flip cards that have coin flip, but it's enjoyable to watch someone else go through that pain.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna go. So 5th place is gonna be. What was my top 4? I can't remember my top 4 now. I know I said Lost Zone Tina, and I said Lugia.
You said Lost Zone Tina, then Lost Zone Turbo, then Lugia, and Mew.
Okay, 5th place is gonna go to another Lost Box.
Which?
Turbo, just Turbo Lost Box. 6th place is gonna go to another Lugia. And then 7th and 8th are gonna go to Guardies. Just don't think they can get it. I don't think they can get that top 4.
Cool. You know what's funny? So I've got our all our lists, and we're all kind of like cheering our decks. Kath's is Mew, mine's Gardevoir, yours is Lugia mostly. You've been a bit more realistic with the Lost Zone box. And then Andy's is just a bit all over the place, really.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to recap.
You want me to recap all the top
eight? Yeah,
eights?
go for it. Yeah, that'd be really good. Yeah.
So Kath is Mew for the win. In fact, actually,
Fusion Mew. I'm guessing, not DT.
We've all.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. What? Yeah, Fusion. Okay, we'll go through that. Mew Fusion, then Chien-Pao, then Gardevoir, then Lost Box. I'm guessing we're just doing Lost Box Turbo. Then United Wings, then another Mew, then another Guardi, then another Mew.
Yeah.
Then mine is 2 Guardies, and then Mew. I'm going to go Fusion Strike as well. Lost Zone Box Turbo, then Lugia, then Arctina, then Chien-Pao, then Marina. Probably it will just be more than one Lugia, I'd say. Jay's is Lost Zone Tina, Lost Zone Turbo. I think that's a brave choice, Lost Zone Tina. Then Lugia.
I think it's due a win. I think every deck's won it now.
Much over here, but not.
We're not over here. We're over in America.
It is got a good favorite matchup against Gardevoir and also Mew. So it could.
I think it's got the answers to Lost Box as well to a certain extent. I think it's I don't know.
What are its answers to Lost Box?
Well, yeah, we've got a Path to the Peak to slow down Rad Greninja. It plays Spiritomb to stop. What does that stop? I don't think that stops anything actually from
Lumineon, I suppose.
Lumineon, but there's not many play Lumineon.
Raikou.
Fleet-footed, but you don't really use Raikou, do you? For fleet-footed in Lost Box, it's more.
If you're struggling.
If you're struggling, yeah. I just think the fact that you can probably boss up the Dragonite and just instant KO with the is it Star Requiem? Is that that's ability?
Yeah. Star.
And then you've still got Sable, you've still got the Sableye, you've still got the Cramorant. You've got the basics that to do the same. You've got Mirage Gate. I think it's a toss up between those two. I think that'll see a bit more play now. Yeah, and obviously you don't mind going behind a bit if you Iono, especially if you Iono a Lost Box. And then you've also got Red Greninja, and they don't really, like Lost Box doesn't play Manaphy. I know they do, but sometimes they don't put down Manaphy, take out a couple of prizes. I don't know. I just think Lost Zone Xena, Arctina did really well, and I think Lost Zone's just getting stronger and stronger, unfortunately. So I think Lost Zone Tina, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Lost Box either. Unfortunately, I'm
always amazed, or not amazed, but like I'm quite surprised that Arctina is so good, because I think Giratina's best thing is that it can KO Pokemon without it's V-Star is just that Pokemon is knocked out, and that only works in Lost Box. So that's, I know it can do 280 and you put Choice Belt on, then it's KOing or Cleansing Gloves or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know.
You have to protect from effects if you're up against the Giratina.
Big Parasol's gone now, isn't it? So
yeah, unfortunately.
What protects you against it?
I don't think there is anything at the minute. Is it Espeon?
Espeon,
yeah. Do you know, I actually saw a list, and I was looking at refining my Guardi list. There was a list that did really well in a special event that was running a 1/1 Espeon in Guardi. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not surprised. It does well, and I think it's okay, but I just don't like the fact that it's a 3-prizer.
Yeah. Well, you put his Sun and Moon badge or whatever it is, and you can't get bossed. So it's there. So it's not a bad idea, and you have to spread the energy across your Pokemon, which Gardevoir typically doesn't like. But that's what actually, going back to what we said at the beginning. I know we're going a bit off topic, but the Weird Ear in Gardevoir is actually really good when you're using Cresselia, because you're spreading damage to put little bits of damage on each Pokemon, and then you just end up with 6 energies all across 6 different Pokemon. You get knocked out, and then you can't do anything because you can't really get your energies back. But you bring Weird Ear on, then they all get lumped into one. big knockout. Weirder gets knocked out, and all your energies are back in discard. I think it's.
I just think Weirder though is a bit like Zacian with extra steps.
Yeah, but it fills a very different role to Zacian. Zacian is bring it on, take a massive knockout, but Weirder is also bring it on and collect all your energy to make sure that all your energy is in one place, which Gardevoir likes. Like Gardevoir doesn't like having an odd energy on Gardevoir, an odd energy on like a Mew. Like it doesn't really like that.
Anyway, would you?
If you
would
if you use Cresselia, yeah.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you Cresselia, you're putting energy, you're putting 2 damage on, you're spreading it across, and sometimes it can be annoying having
sometimes
a Celebrations Mew sat there with 1 energy. And it's like
what is that?
Out,
Yeah, I suppose then.
And also when you especially with the reversal strat now, so you get path, then you kind of spreading like a few energies on one Gardevoir, a few energies on another Gardevoir. You're just trying to make sure that you have enough energies to attack if you get pathed or you are pathed. And then you get bossed and suddenly you can't attach and you can't retreat. So yeah, I think Weird is it never was a liability. It always was helpful when I played it. It's just I just play Zacian over it.
Is it more late game?
Yeah,
Cresselia is that like mid game, and then you could follow up Cresselia with Weirder.
Yeah, because Cresselia you can use at any time really. You can use you're taking either a quick first knockout, or you're getting the damage off the from Sableye, or you're just wanting to just take a knockout to help with the prizes in the back, like on the bench. So Weirder is not bad. I just don't. It's like one of those things where if I play it, it's good, and if I don't play it, it's also good. And it's like, well, might as well play Zacian because it's a psychic. But then going back to it, you have all your energy on the Weirder, and it's tanky because you don't have a load of damage counters on it from Psychic Embrace. So you bring the Weirder out, it can do like 360 damage quite easily. And it also doesn't have damage counters, so it can't be then Sableye, or it can't be, just knocked out by a Cramorant or something.
Okay.
So anyway, but sorry,
going back to the main topic of NAIC choices and not Alex's Gardevoir / Weirder loving. We'll definitely keep an eye on it. I mean, we'll see how we do next week when we discuss how far we were. We'll see if there is any United Wings list in the top 100 or even in played. Be brave. Fair play. I hope someone does do it. We'll definitely keep you updated. But I'm really really excited. Really excited about NAIC. So I'm looking forward to watching some of it. So. Okay, moving on then. There's just a little bit of news, not massive amounts of news this week. Obviously, we covered the Pokemon 151 set review last week. But before that, we do have Obsidian Flames actually still coming out. So that's coming out in August.
151 is coming out first for them, and then Obsidian Flames is coming out first for us. But they're getting them both before us as well. It's weird. Anyway, carry on.
It is definitely weird, but they have announced obviously that there's so obviously Obsidian Flames coming out, but there's also some additional starter decks, EX starter decks coming out. So 2 of them that have been announced are the Dragonite EX and the Greedent EX. So I thought it'd just be best if we have a quick check over the EXs that are coming out, see if they're any good. And then see what we think of them. So I'll just share my screen now, and the first one we'll discuss is the Greedent EX. So the Greedent EX is a stage 1, so obviously it evolves from Squavette, which is handy because Squavette's a really good, I think, quite a decent Pokemon in the meta. But then you've got the Greedent EX, stage 1, colorless, HP 260. It has the Terra type ability, which is obviously we've spoken about it before, haven't we? Numerous times. It's naff, rubbish. But one colourless energy called Get Greedy. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may put those cards into your hand or discard them and draw 3 cards. Or for 3 colourless, you've got Foolish Rolling, 210 damage, but during your next turn, this Pokemon can't use Foolish Rolling.
Sorry, but Get Greedy should have been an ability, not an attack.
It would be OP though. Yeah, it would be OP.
It would be pretty OP, but I agree. It should have been something because it's 210s not knocking out EXs.
Yeah,
and you can't even attack
it's
next
that
turn.
trade-off between having a really mid attack and then having a really good, like a great ability. Maybe even if it was 2 cards rather than 3.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot better.
I 100% agree there. Really do agree. It's a shame, really, because I think Greed and VMAX was pretty playable, if I remember correctly. Yeah. I think that was pretty playable.
Max, gimme, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
Take 2 extra prizes.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. But it'd be interesting to see.
That artwork is pretty cute.
Yeah,
it is cool, isn't it? Why do all the terrestrialized Pokemon have like Spider-Man eyes on the crystals? No idea. Obviously,
you can't unsee it now, can you?
Well, you have seen. Did you? There was the Nintendo. There was the Nintendo Direct, wasn't there, which showed a bit more information relating to the first part of the Secrets of whatever it's called. I can't remember the name of the DLC now. Awful, isn't it? I know the first one's about
the Teal Mask.
Teal Mask, yeah, and that's about a treasure hunt, isn't it? And like 3 like 3. Yeah, it's like 3 starter Pokemon or legendary Pokemon there. Anyway, still no date, which is annoying. But yeah, be interesting to see the secrets of. Is it the secrets of something?
It's the hidden treasure of Area 0.
That's it. That's surely got to explain what this whole terrestrialization is and stuff. So
yeah. And is the professor really gone?
Yeah, he did.
I don't know what's annoying me though is in Sword and Shield. You found out about the G-Max stuff. Like that
straight away.
That was the story.
It was part of the story, wasn't it? Yeah.
To find out what it is, how you use it, how it's being abused, and kind of that ended the story arc. It wrapped it up.
The Scarlet and Violet story.
A continuation on what we already know.
Pay to play. You've got to buy it to find out what terrestrialization is all about.
Because Scarlet and Violet story was more about the Paradox Pokemon and the future Pokemon. Well, the Paradox Pokemon and like the future and the past Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like that story was more about that, but that wasn't a mechanic. That was just old and new, like future and past Pokemon.
Yeah. The story hasn't been great in the past couple of games, anyway.
No, neither.
I did like all the stuff with Eternatus and that.
But yeah.
It still wasn't great.
Did you all watch the Nintendo Direct? Have you seen the new trailers for the Pokemon DLC? How smooth does it look, and how good does it look running? It's not gonna look like that good on
no, it's not. Switch, is it? That's definitely pre-rendered.
Did it say this is not actual gameplay footage in really small writing at the bottom?
Yeah.
It should
running on a PC.
Running on Dolphin. Okay, so moving on away from that, then we also do have the Dragonite EX as well.
So they've done him dirty.
Have they done him dirty? So I mean,
they always do. Apart from the good one we've got.
What's the good one we've got?
The one in Lost Box.
The 250.
Which was a promo, which is weird because it was a promo card, wasn't it?
No, yeah. But other than that, the V-Star wasn't very good. But it's got a good V-Star ability. But...
I mean, just for the listeners' benefits, it's obviously Dragonite EX, Dragon Pokemon, HP 330. It's a stage 2. Obviously, it evolves from Dratini and Dragonair. Terra type, useless. For colorless, wing attack, 70 damage. For then water and lightning, meteor break, 140 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 140 more damage. if Tails' Pokemon can't attack during next turn. So it's something
That's
real.
rubbish.
Can you imagine that at the finals? Can you imagine that at the finals? For the knockout or not?
It could have been a lot worse though. It could have been flip a coin. If Tails, this does no damage.
Yeah.
At least you are getting 140 damage.
Yeah, 280
like,
even. But also, actually, it's for a water and an electric, which is actually a really good dragon cost, because usually they're 3, and it's like 2 waters and electric, or a water and electric and a dark, or something like that. Or fire,
but how are you accelerating that?
Mirage Gate.
Well, you wouldn't play.
You're not playing stage 2. Yeah.
You would not play this in a Lost Box.
Reversal energy? Oh no, you can't play reversal energy. Don't know. I guess you're playing a multi-energy deck.
A Melanie, or
that's only 2.
Melanie's.
Oh, it isn't.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah,
we've right hand. It's gotta be a right hand.
Right hand, yeah. Electric generator.
That's only 2 electric.
Otherwise, you could just use. I suppose you could just use the Dragonite from Lost Origin, the one that puts 180. Accelerates 3 energies
the
for
baby one.
180. Yeah.
Or because you've got to evolve it twice, 2 turns, 2 energy.
Yeah.
Here's a crazy idea. Just attach return.
But you're limiting your consistency by playing two different energy types. If you were playing 6 water, that'd be easier than 3 and 3. So you might prize 2 or even 3.
It's not going to see play, so
not going to see play. Yeah. It's not going to see play.
It's just because it's in one of them little decks, isn't it?
Yeah. Which did you hear? I mean, I know I think this is only in Japan, but so they're in the EX starter decks, and some of them are going to be ones that you can buy, like the Clefable, Koraidon, and all the others. But then these are 2 secret ones, and you can only get them similar to the Build and Battle, where you just get 1 of 4 and it's random. You have to buy one of these secret decks, and it could be Dragonite or Greedent, but it could be any of the other 8. So there's actually 10 total that you can.
It's like a lucky dip.
It's a lucky dip, yeah. But you can only get these 2 from the secret ones. You can buy the other ones. They said that you can buy it individually later, and it will be released in our Obsidian Flames.
What are the other ones? Do we know?
There's Decidueye, Victini, Greninja, Miraidon, Clefable, Koraidon, Houndoom, and Melmetal. All the X's.
So yeah, you guys aren't aware of that reminds me. There was something called it was in 2021, late 21, early 22. The Pokemon did something called the Start Deck 100, which is basically the exact same as what you're saying, Al, in the fact that there was 100 decks, so there was 100 standard decks and 1 secret deck, and at random. Jesus. And you bought one. It was just pure random out of 100 decks. And it had some specific special artworks in some of them. The secret 101, the 101st deck that was obviously that loads of secret cards, full art prints of trainer cards and gold prints of the Galarian legendary birds. So that's how they came into obviously Brilliant Stars, but that's how they came in there. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine just buying that? I think it was pretty cool because I used to watch people opening them, and it was just random. You had to open it, and it was just random decks. But we ended up with a lot of it anyway. But so what you say, there's 8. Imagine 100.
yeah, that's true.
So at least we don't have to do that. But whilst we're on the topic, obviously, of decks, something else has been announced as well. So Pokemon have announced a new product called My First Battle, and it released on September the 29th, and there's going to be 2 variations. And basically, this is purely for beginners and how to learn to play the TCG. So like I said, there were 2 variations. One will feature Bulbasaur, Oddish, Pikachu, and Voltorb, while the other one will feature Charmander, Vulpix, Squirtle, and Poliwag. It looks like the half decks, so I think there's
17 cards.
17, not even half decks, yes, 17 card decks for beginners, for a total of 34 cards each. Yeah. Inside you'll find 2 mini decks, 17 cards each, 2 laminated play mats designed for single player use, a rule book, prize tokens, sheeted damage counters, and large metallic coin. This seems like it's replacing the
Battle Academy.
Doesn't it?
I don't know. I think this is more for like your really young players. Like
this is for like really kids.
Yeah.
Like my first play
Battle Academy, I think is gauged more towards like your 7, 8, 9-year-olds. But this would probably be more for your 5, 6, just getting into the game, trying to keep their attention, the short attention span on the game for as long as they can.
I mean, the rating of the Battle Academy,
the amount of cards in the deck.
The age rating of the Battle Academy is 6. So,
see, I mean, we used to play with
6.
Camilla when she was probably our niece Camilla, when she was probably 5, 6, and her attention just wasn't on it.
But well, was that just on the fact that it's I mean, you compare it to the video game. When you play, it's a TCG, a lot of reading, there's not a lot of action. Is the fact that just slimming it down to 17 card decks going to really make that much of a difference for attention span for that young?
I think so. I think 5 or 10 minutes sitting down doing it for that short amount of time, rather than the Battle Academy, which to get through, even with the instructions, that might take 45 minutes. That was too long.
Yeah. She might actually have been a bit younger than 5 when we started playing.
I mean, she loves it now, so
yeah. I mean, I think obviously Andy and Alex, you both learned through Battle Academy. And obviously,
Well, I learned when I was a kid to play the base game.
Yeah, it changed a lot though, from base to base to where we ended up at. Do you still recommend Battle Academy to start, or do you recommend, like I started at a pre-release event? I didn't even touch Battle Academy until I bought it for my son.
Yeah, well,
I would recommend Battle Academy.
Yeah.
And I played it. Did recommend it to someone today.
All right.
Okay. Are you on commission?
Unfortunately not.
No. Sorry, go on now.
Yeah, I'd recommend, because I think actually I played it at yours, Andy. Before, do you remember before, like the first time I was going to Geek Retreat and you were teaching me how to play using the Battle Academy, and I think that's the because I don't know how in depth it actually goes with the actual rules, because I'm guessing you're not shuffling and drawing 7.
Yeah, Professor's Research.
You are. You're drawing 7. That's your first. So your deck is 10 cards. You draw your 7, and then you're playing with those 10.
You deck out in about 3 turns.
Well, exactly.
Just hope there's no Professor's Research.
Keeping it short. It's like 5-minute games.
Yeah. But then we moved quickly to more in-depth cards. And to be honest, I taught when I played with Sammy, my brother, the first time, I gave him the Reggie Drago deck, and I was just teaching him how to play that. And I guess for like older people, I think it's a lot more interesting to teach someone with really interesting mechanics, like Reggie Drago, like with Mew.
But Sammy's a genius, though, when he really.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I was like, so this is what he does, and then he
got all the smarts. Yeah,
he got all the smarts. Yeah.
He got all the smarts. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it is based. I think obviously we know that a lot of the shops, the local card shops, have a massive contingency of younger players. So it'd be something for them to buy.
I'm pretty sure when we were at Worlds in London, and they had the Play Labs bit where kids were going to learn to play. I think that's the format they played in there.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. We'll have to definitely keep an eye on it. And it'd be good to get more people into the TCG. Just Yeah, I wonder just how quick they jump from my first deck to Battle Academy to Lost Box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I did actually. My the Battle Academy to Lost Bucks.
Yeah, but you're not 5. It's just the mentality. The final thing to announce really for this week is that the Pokemon Company International, they've actually announced a sweepstakes to win every Sword and Shield booster box. So that's been floating around on social media. I got an email about it as well. So basically they're saying to celebrate the end of the Sword and Shield era, they've announced a sweepstake to win one booster box from every Sword and Shield set, so 12 in total. So Sword and Shield all the way to Silver Tempest. And there will be 3 winners of that, and then they're also doing a 50 runner-up winners will each win one random Sword and Shield Series Elite Trainer box. They're doing it in United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Ireland, New Zealand, Peru, Argentina, and Mexico. So yeah, if you guys want to check that out, definitely go to the Pokemon TCG's official Twitter or Instagram account, and you'll find all the details there. It just asks you your name, your details, your email address, and you just sign up for it. I've done it. I got my wife to do it as well. So because if you win,
and you've not set up any more fake email addresses yet?
No, don't be silly. Don't be silly. Not yet. Anyway. That's tonight's job. Yeah, I'm not being funny. If you win that,
someone will.
You get
someone
the
will just
Evolving
create like
Skies.
1 million.
If you get Evolving Skies, how much are Evolving Skies booster box going for at the moment? I think there's absolutely no. I think even more than that now.
All right.
Evolving Skies booster box. I'm pretty sure the half booster is going for 300.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think you can get much. I don't think you can get much of them anymore. I think it's absolutely
400 euros.
They reprinted them though, didn't they?
They did, yeah. Well, they did, yeah.
Evolving Skies.
Yeah, about 5,
Yeah,
like about 400.
You'd
400
be like you'd sell the Evolving Skies booster box, but then I bet you couldn't give away the Fusion Strike one.
You'd be surprised actually. I think the one apart from Evolving Skies, I think the one set that's done really well, and you'd be surprised, is Chilling Reign.
Yeah.
Just because I think a lot of people, obviously, I mean, with Evolving Skies, people chase the Moonbryon. That's the big chase. With Chilling Reign, there's a lot of really cool alt arts and a lot of really cool alt arts and full arts. They've obviously got the Golden Snorlax. You've got loads of waifus in there for the waifu lovers out there. And then you've got like the Zeraora, the Calyrex ones. You've got the Blaziken. The Blaziken one's awesome. And then you've got all the legendary birds ones as well. So the Ultras are still going for a lot of money. So I think the Chilling Reign ones have been the highest one. Some people like Fusion Strike. I never want to touch a pack of Fusion Strike in my life again, but now that I've nearly mastered it, I'm just like 10 reverse cards away from mastering it. But yeah, go back to the main point. Yeah, that's a really cool sweepstakes. It's nice to do that. It'd be interesting to see who wins. Fingers crossed. And I hope everyone gets a fair chance, and hopefully someone we know gets it, so they can give us the. I'll have the Fusion Strike then. Go on, if you insist, I'll have the Fusion Strike. Right, I think that wraps it up this week. So I just want to thank again my fellow co-hosts for joining me again this week. And again, thank you guys for listening. To keep in contact with us, we have our usual social media channels. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at Training Court. Or if you want to follow us on Instagram, it's at Training Court TCG. To listen/watch us, the best place to do it is always our YouTube channel, which is YouTube, and type in Training Court TCG, or our official handle is at Training Court TCG. If you want to listen to us exclusively, we are on Podbean, which is the trainingcourt.podbean.com, or alternatively, we're on Apple iTunes podcasts and Spotify. Again, just type in the Training Court TCG to listen to us. Thank you all again. Enjoy NAIC, and we will see you next week. Take care.